Hey y'all, Iric Sky here, back again with another GoveeLife dehumidifier. Now this is a smart dehumidifier review, and I want to post this follow-up review of my GoveeLife Smart Dehumidifier after I've been using it for around a week. Now the first thing I'm going to do is pull out the app here, because what I want to show everyone, and I'm going to flash up a few things. So the first thing that you'll see is this screenshot when I first installed it. And you can see my humidity in the basement where I have my GoveeLife dehumidifier installed, that's behind me, was approximately 77.5%. So obviously that was extremely high. And that's why I installed the dehumidifier. Now what I'm going to do is go into the, I'm going to flash up the app, the GoveeLife app, and I'm going to show you a tour within the app, just really how useful and user-friendly it is. So right here, when you go into the app, you can see 51.3, it's kind of fluctuating. It hit 51.4 briefly, but below that's the key thing. It says target reached and dehumidification stopped after 3 minutes. Well, that's awesome, because this GoveeLife, number one, it has an auto mode where it behaves intelligently. And you can hear it's not running now, it's powered off, because my basement's humidity is currently approximately 51.4%, which is an optimal range. And we're going to get into the optimal humidity range here in a moment. But you can see it's powered off. So number one, that's great, because it tells me, well, it was able to achieve the desired humidity for my basement, which means this dehumidifier is sized correctly for my basement. And number two, it works. And the app is smart, and it says, hey, I've hit the desired humidity range, and I'm going to turn off to save electricity. That's the big thing. You don't want any appliance, whether it's a dehumidifier or whatever. You don't want something running around the clock. I mean, obviously your freezer and refrigerator, but these types of things you don't. You want them to do their job and turn off and save that electricity bill. Save on your electricity bill. So now you can see I've got this comfort toggle toggled, and if I click the question mark to the right of comfort, it provides a description. It says comfort. When comfort is on, the dehumidifier automatically adjusts the target humidity suitable for the human body, which is me, according to the ambient temperature as follows. So if the temperature is less than 65 degrees Fahrenheit, the target humidity is 55%. If the temperature, and this is talking about the temperature in the room, whether it's your basement or wherever you have your dehumidifier, if it's in the 65 degree Fahrenheit to 77 degree Fahrenheit range, the target humidity is 50%. And that's my target humidity, 50%. And it, you know, it fluctuates a percentage or so from that, because obviously now it's intelligently powered itself off, and it's at 51%. But if that humidity starts to climb, this will kick back on, and it does, because I monitor this. And, you know, I want to make sure that my purchase decision to purchase this GoveeLife Smart Dehumidifier was a good one, because if it doesn't do what I wanted it to, if it didn't do what I wanted it to do, obviously I would ship it back. You know, I'm not going to be holding on to a piece of junk that I spent money for. And by the way, you can expand this video's description and then click the link there to find where to order this type of well, not this one, because this is mine. You're not getting it, bro, but this dehumidifier online. It's very nice. And if the temperature within the room is greater than 77 degrees Fahrenheit, then the target humidity is 45%. So that's the mode I chose to use. And it works well, because right now my room temperature in the basement is 75.2 degrees Fahrenheit. And you can see that within the GoveeLife app. And then above it, obviously the 51.6%, that's the current humidity. I'm not sweating. You know, this thing's doing its job, man. I mean, the environment down here is pleasant. Now, I could go in if I wanted to, and I could toggle off this comfort mode, and then down there, see where I've got 50%, I could manually, and see it just turned on because I toggled off comfort mode, but I could manually specify this to say, maybe I want to go to 45% or whatever. And by the way, I'm going to shut my trap so you can hear it. Hear how quiet that is? Very quiet dehumidifier. But you can manually set, as demonstrated here, you can manually set your humidity percentage. I don't want to do that. I want to toggle the comfort back on, because what I want this unit to do is what it's been doing, and it's looking at, okay, well, the temperature in the room is, right now, as you can see, 75 degrees Fahrenheit. Based upon that temperature, it's going to intelligently achieve the humidity that it deems comfort associated with that room's temperature. Now, keep in mind, and this may, this opinion may vary, but typically what you'll find for acceptable, the optimal humidity range for, especially for a basement, is below 55%. Now, you don't want to go too low, but I think it's a range of maybe 30 or 35% to 55%. I know the top of the range is 55%. So, I'm not trying to go, and I could push it, and as I just demonstrated, the target humidity, I could set it a lot lower. But I'm using this intelligent mode because, number one, it's comfortable down here. Number two, things seem dry now, basements especially. And this is, you can use this in a bedroom, bathroom, main part of your house, whatever. It doesn't just have to be for a basement. But the air in here it's comfortable. I don't see moisture around like I did prior to turning this dehumidifier on. Speaking of the first time I turned this dehumidifier on, something worth mentioning is when you first turn it on, depending upon how damp, how much humidity you have in your room, especially if it's a basement, it took this thing a few days to get everything normalized. So don't think, oh, I'm going to plug it in, man. It's just going to magically make the humidity disappear in a few seconds. No. Depending upon how much humidity you have, this potentially could take a few days. It may take a few weeks, but make sure it's appropriately sized and for your room. We're going to talk about that here in a minute. Other options within the app, the maintain, you can do a maintain. It says maintain reduces the frequency of turning on and off the device caused by ambient humidity. For example, if your target humidity is 35%, it will maintain 30 to 38% range after reaching the target humidity to ensure your best experience. If the maintain function is disabled, the device will stop when the target humidity is reached. So there's several options you can do in here. Again, manually specify, you can use this maintain mode, but for me, I like the comfort mode. And you've also got timers, you've got scheduling, there's a variety of options. And then up at the top here, you can see where it's grayed out. Of course, mine's blue where it says auto because I'm using auto mode, but you could use a drying mode. Say you wanted to put it in the laundry room and dry clothes, you could do that. So you could see here there's a drying mode. You could do drying mode if you wanted to, if you're using it in a laundry room or somewhere where you wanted to dry out clothes. You can also manually choose a fan speed, low, medium, or high. But again, I use auto, and that's how I like to use my GoveeLife dehumidifier. So let's see here. Went ahead and ended that screen recording, and just wanted to talk a few more things about this. So subscribe and check out my separate video where I explain in detail how to appropriately size a dehumidifier for your basement or whatever room in your house or rooms in your house. But as far as my purchase decision of this GoveeLife Smart Dehumidifier is concerned, like I said, I've had it for around a week. It's working great. It's doing exactly what it should do. And most importantly, it's able to hit the target humidity, turn off, which helps to save on my energy bills. So it's a total win. Now, obviously, out of best practice, I'm going to keep the packing materials that it came in to ensure that nothing unexpected happens. Because I've got, and by the way, you can, as I said earlier, you can expand this video's description and then click the link there to find where to order it online. But one of the things I did do is, I kept the packing materials just in case it starts to malfunction, or speaking of that, have not encountered overheating issues. There was one part in the initial phase. Now keep in mind, my basement was extremely humid. I mean, almost 80 degrees humidity. 80% humidity, which was terrible. In the first day or so, there was a time where it kind of got too warm and it turned itself off intelligently, but then it turned itself back on. And that was just because I had an extremely humid space. Since that initial phase, this thing has run flawlessly, no issues. And even when it did turn itself off, the app notified me, and you know, it wasn't like, oh, we're just, you know, it was, they were straightforward about, okay, the unit turned itself off to protect itself, but then it turned back on, and then everything, you know, all the settings were still there, no issues. So one other thing to mention is that at least currently there's no subscription fee to use this. So all that I did, I plugged it in, paired it with my Govee, I think it's the Govee Home App, the app that I just showed you, and everything links up, and I'm able to monitor it or control it from anywhere with an internet connection, which is great. So I don't have to go into this basement where I got some brown recluse spiders, man. I don't have to go in here to mess around with my dehumidifier. And keep in mind also, now this is something that I researched, that a dehumidifier may reduce the amount of spiders, especially in a basement. So that's the other value add of a dehumidifier like this one, is you might be able to lessen the quantity of spiders in that room. And that's important for me because, like I said, I've got brown recluses in here. If you don't know what a brown recluse is, those things can bite you and your skin can rot off. So you don't want that. You definitely don't want that. And I'm not saying this is a solution for brown recluses by any means. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a politician. But with that being said, I did want to throw that out there because in my mind, that was a potential value add. But would I buy this GoveeLife dehumidifier again? Without a doubt. Now, I'm about to, and at the time of you watching this, I would have already filmed the video, but subscribe and ring that bell and that'll notify you whenever I post another video. But check out my how to size a dehumidifier for your room, or how to size a dehumidifier for your basement, because that's very important. That's a topic for a separate video. This video was just my first follow-up review of my GoveeLife Smart Dehumidifier. Smart because it connects to home Wi-Fi. And it's got the app. It's incredible, as you just saw. Now, if my experience changes, I would definitely post a video and share how it's changed. And likewise, I'll post a follow-up video in a month or so and let you know how my GoveeLife Smart Dehumidifier is performing after several weeks or several months of use. And if you have any questions, comment below and I'll try to post a video response. And again, as a reminder, expand this video's description and then click the link there and you can find where to order this model of GoveeLife Smart Home Dehumidifier online. I like it. Again, I've been using it for around a week, but it's already achieved the optimal humidity in my basement, and it's intelligently maintaining that optimal humidity in my basement, and it turns the unit off intelligently, and it's wonderful because that helps me to save on electric bills. Now keep in mind, the cost of mold, mildew, all that kind of repair, if one neglects to install a dehumidifier, could grossly trump the cost of something like this dehumidifier. And also this dehumidifier, I got my hose out the back. You can use the included bucket or you can use the hose if you've got a place to drain. I've got a drain in my basement, so I never have to dump it. It's hands off, man. I just keep my eye on my dehumidifier periodically through my app, and I know that it's doing its job. Hope this video helped. And again, expand this video's description and then click the link there to find where to order it online. Thanks for your viewership, and y'all have a good day. Hey y'all, Captain Irix Guy here. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. If you did, please be sure to subscribe. It's youtube.com/Irix Guy. And ring that bell icon when you do to be notified whenever I post another video. Thanks for your viewership, and y'all have a good day.